Hi everyone, this is Miss Adams. If you are watching this video, you are working on standard 10A, okay? So 10A, it feels like an expository nonfiction, but it's a little bit more specific than that. It's analyzing persuasive, all right? And when we analyze persuasive texts, there are a few things we need to look for. So what I'm going to do is I will first take us through their explanation here, and then we will go and try some on our own, okay? So, persuasive texts aim to persuade or convince an audience to do or believe something, all right? Writers use different techniques to develop ideas in a persuasive text, including evidence-based reasons, so that's one thing they do, logic-based reasons, that's two things they do, and emotional appeals, that's the third. So in a persuasive text, there are three types of evidence that will be given. The first one is logic, the second one is evidence, and then you have emotion, all right? Evidence, that tends to be like statistics. Logic is more of reasoning. Okay, to analyze persuasive writing, analyze the inferences writers make to connect evidence and emotional appeals to a claim. So I'm analyzing the inferences to connect evidence to a claim. So how does evidence support claim? Okay? All right. The chart to the right, this guy, okay, shows how these different techniques can be used to support a central claim or position. So the central claim or position is what we normally call our thesis, all right? But if you are writing a persuasive paper, it's your claim, it's your position, all right? But basically it's like their answer, it's what they're trying to convince us of. Here the writer is arguing that high school should start later than elementary school. All right, so if we look at this, their claim or their thesis, their argument, is that high school should start later than elementary school. All right, they have an evidence-based reason that high school students need more sleep. All right, that might be like a scientific study, but there is like factual evidence, some statistics, something that's proven that they're using to support this claim. Okay, and that is studies show how that adolescents need more sleep than younger children. All right. So then we have a logic-based reason. If school started later, there would be fewer problems with tardiness. All right. Well, that makes sense, right? The later school is, the less tardy people will tend to be. Hopefully, right? So logic-based argument is just like a reasoning to why. Okay? Imagine how happy teachers would be if fewer students were late. Well, now we pull in the emotional appeal. All right, so a writer can make a claim based on evidence that scientific studies suggest that adolescents need more sleep than younger children. Then a second reason is inferred from the emotional appeal. This reason is based not on evidence, but on the logic of making teachers happy. On the STAR test, you will be asked to analyze these elements of persuasive texts. All right. So let's move down to the STAR strategy here, and let's give this a practice. As always, we want to read the question first, okay? And then this is just a part of a passage. So it says the author makes this statement to suggest that. So what is the author asking us to infer? Why are they doing this? All right, so the first step is probably to figure out what type of evidence this is, okay? All right. So it says, we're all just temporarily abled, and every one of us, if we live long enough, will become disabled in some way. Well, to me, that sounds like a logical reasoning. I don't see an emotion in here yet, but it might be trying to appeal to that feeling, right? There's no scientific studies or numbers or statistics, so I'm going to rule out evidence. All right? So the author makes this statement to suggest that she really isn't very different from other people. Disabilities are affecting people with increasing frequency. All right, so this increasing frequency would have to do with a number or a statistic, and I didn't see that in there, okay? So I'm going to say B is out. She was fortunate to have developed her disability at a young age, or people should prepare themselves for becoming deaf. Well, I don't know that she's saying everyone's going to become deaf, right? And then I don't know that she's saying she is fortunate either. So I'm going to cross out C and D, and I think that the best answer is A. She's trying to appeal to this idea of being able to relate to her. She wants the audience to relate. So, the function of this sentence, it says, I need to answer the question, why does the author make the statement? What is the function of the sentence within the passage? Well, the function, that means job, is what? Oops, sorry, you guys can't see me. The function is the job. So when I go back and I look up here, I notice that it is logical reasoning, and its job is to make the readers feel like they can relate. So it makes the readers feel like they can relate to her because she's saying that all of us will be disabled someday. All right? Okay, let's go ahead and turn the page. All right, now it's going to tell us if we're right. So it says, after you find the sentence you're being asked to analyze in the passage, look at how it fits into the paragraph. Is it making a claim? Is it a piece of evidence? Is it giving a reason or making a logical connection? Thinking about how the sentence fits into the overall paragraph can help you make a better understanding of its meaning. It says this sentence is making a claim that all of us are going to be disabled today. Okay. Once you understand that how the sentence fits into the overall paragraph, identify the response that best matches your understanding. A is correct, so we did get it right, even though we said it was logic. So A, she's making the claim that everyone who gets old enough will get a disability. Okay? B, not the frequency. So we were correct in crossing out frequency. C, she doesn't feel fortunate. She thinks that other people are fortunate. And then D, she's not only talking about deafness. So we both came to the same conclusion. All right, let's do it again. Guided practice. Okay, so we're going to read the paragraph, and then we're going to look at our steps for analyzing the persuasive text in order to answer the question that follows, okay? So, step number 1, I'm going to look at the question and figure out what is it asking me. It says, why does the author use sensory images in this paragraph? So I know that sensory images talks about or uses the 5 senses, okay? And I need to know why the author does something. So I'm looking for the author's purpose of sensory images in this persuasive text. Okay? So now I'm going to go into the text and I'm going to read it. And anytime I see something that is imagery, I'm going to highlight it. Okay. I wasn't aware of not hearing until I began to wear a hearing aid at the age of 30. It shattered my peace. Shoes creaking. All right, so that's something I can hear. It's one of my 5 senses. Shoes creaking, papers crackling, pencils tapping, phones ringing, refrigerators humming, people cracking knuckles, clearing throats, and blowing noses. Cars, bikes, dogs, cats, kids all seem to appear from nowhere and fly right at me. I heard a lot of sensory language as far as what we can hear. So, why is the author listing all of these things that she can hear all of a sudden? Well, to me, it makes me feel like she's probably overwhelmed. Before, things used to be peaceful. She didn't hear very well, so she didn't hear those small noises. And now that she can hear well, she's hearing all of these things that she never had bothering her before, and now all of a sudden they're there and they're loud and they're obvious. So she seems overwhelmed. Okay, now I'm going to look at my answer choices. So my step 3 is to look at my answer choices and figure out, is it a claim, is it evidence, is it a logical reasoning, or is it a feeling? Well, this sensory image is leading me to this feeling, this association over here. So I definitely think that the author's purpose has to do something with an emotional appeal. All right? Okay. So, to illustrate that hearing so well was disturbing. Maybe. Disturbing is maybe a little similar to the idea of overwhelmed that I had here in my association. So I'm going to keep that one open and then I'm going to look at the next ones. It says, describe her irrational fear of sound. I don't really think she's afraid of it. I think it bothers her. I don't know that she's afraid of it. See, to prove that she really didn't need a hearing aid. Well, if she wasn't aware of hearing until after having a hearing aid, and then she hears all of these things that she's never heard before, she does need it. So this, she didn't really need a hearing aid, is not correct. D says to communicate that she was frequently interrupted. Maybe her thoughts were, but when we think of interrupted, we think of like someone talking over you or someone stopping you. So I don't know that I agree with this word interrupted. So I'm going to go with the answer choice A, to illustrate that hearing so well was disturbing. It overwhelmed her. And so she wants the reader to be able to figure out that all of these sounds, all of the sudden, were overwhelming. All right. So now you're going to turn the page again. And on your own, I'm going to have you fill out this evaluation. So we just went through it together, but then I want you to tell me, is A the answer? We said that it is supported, and then we said that B is not supported and D is not supported, and they already filled in C for us. So what I want you to do before you do your reflection is I want you to think about, what did we have to do to get to step A, and then write it down. What did you have to do to get to step B, and then write it down. And what did you have to do to get to step D, or answer D and write it down. So you're basically telling me why is A correct, why is B incorrect, and why is D incorrect. Once you have done that, then go on and fill out your reflection for this video. Good luck!